Hey, what's up, guys? I'm gonna try something new. So, something has been on my mind for a while that I've kind of wanted to film and talk about. And I wrote a script. I'm gonna try it. This could turn out great. This could turn out awful. I've usually been kind of one of those guys that's like fly by wire, right? Like right off the seat of my pants. I'm just like spitting what's on my mind and talking about. But I wanted to stay on track because I'm having a hard time doing that lately when I'm talking. Um, and it's something I want to talk about. So, you know, I really want to talk about the Philippines escape. Are we going to consider it healing or hiding from a separation or a divorce? That's what we really need to talk about. So, there's been times that you like are going through your phone. You're back in your hometown. Separation's pretty fresh and new, and you're going through your phone and you hit that one picture, right? And you're like, man, brings up some memories. And you're on social media, which a lot of us are on, right? And then you're scrolling through social media and boom, now you see her or him with someone new. And all of a sudden, that city that you live in feels way too small. No matter, I don't, in my situation, it might be different than your situation, but I know that I felt that. I felt like, how can I live here and take the chance of bumping into someone that I had so much love for and that said that they had so much love for me and is now with someone new. You get that, your stomach drops, your chest starts to feel hollow, and it's just an awful feeling. And then you start thinking about a move. So you start looking into flights, right? To Manila, Cebu, the Philippines. Because obviously you're interested in the Philippines or you wouldn't be watching me, right? And you think for one moment, you're just like, man, if I could just get to a beach, I can just leave all this pain behind. I can just literally pack my bags and leave that baggage, boom, right back in the US. And I'm not really sure if a geographical cure is the move. It feels great. So we're going to talk about, is the Philippines a brilliant fresh start, or are you just going to be taking your baggage 8,000 miles away? So let's get into the pros and cons, and some of the emotional landmines that you might run into. So let's start with the dream, because this place is absolutely beautiful. Even with all the chaos, it feels so much more beautiful and much more humbling than what you're used to back in the States. But there is going to be a sensory overload. And how that plays into effect is that it's hard to reminisce on your ex when you're navigating the markets. You're going to the grocery store and you're waiting in line for 35 minutes to buy one item, or you're walking in a bustling crowd, or you're trying to cross the streets of Cebu with traffic. You guys have seen it. If this is the first time watching me, please go back and watch some of my videos so you can understand what traffic's like. You literally just have to go. And it's crazy. The sheer vibrance of the culture forces you out of your head, and it's into the present moment. And that is factual. The culture here is very robust, especially Sinulog time. When it's Sinulog, very robust. The culture is very robust during Christmas. It's just a lot going on, and it's beautiful. The warp factor here also isn't just the sun, but the people, the Filipino hospitality. It's crazy how friendly these people are with as little as they have. So, when you're feeling unloved and you're being surrounded by a culture that prioritizes smiles and community, it's a powerful antidote to isolation. It really helps. It really makes you feel welcome and not alone. Another great aspect of moving to the Philippines is a financial reset, right? Your dollar goes much further. The breathing room means that you can work less and focus on yourself. You can afford therapy, the hobbies, or just sitting by the ocean without crushing rates of high rent or stress. That's very true. You can literally come here and not work if you're on a pension of 2K or higher. And you can enjoy your life and start to focus on self-healing and some of the beauty of the Philippines and even the people. So that's great, right? One thing that I haven't done yet is get into nature a whole bunch. Just because I've been trying to save a few dollars, get everything together. And I've been having to spend quite a bit of money. But from what I understand from my friends that do travel is that um, the psychological benefits to nature, being able to frequently access the world's best beaches, it's a dopamine boost. Excuse me one second while they get louder. Getting out on the beaches, from what I'm understanding, I mean, can imagine I've been to beaches several times. I haven't been in any of the white beaches here with the crystal clear waters, but I have been throughout the city, and I can kind of say an urban oasis for me is kind of comforting. I like city life, and I like being in the city. I'm not much one for my feet in the sand all the time, even though I do respect it. So now we're going to get into the cons. But we got to talk about the old ghosts, right? You can fly halfway across the world, but your brain is coming with you. That is a very true statement. Your thought process is going to stay. Just because you relocate geographically all the way across the world doesn't mean that your thoughts stay, right? I've experienced that myself. You can have the best day of your life, but as soon as you lay your head on your pillow, it's there. You think about it. It's insane, right? Another one that's very big here is a rebound trap. This one's huge. It really is, because when you get out here, the amount of attention that you're going to receive from Filipino women is intense. It's insane. I told myself when I came out here that I was going to focus on myself for 3 to 6 months. I wasn't going to date. I wasn't going to talk to females in that aspect. But it's very hard. It's very tempting. It's going to happen. I promise it's going to happen. And when you're hurting, it's easy to use a new relationship to mask the pain of seeing your ex with someone else. But using someone else's heart as a band-aid is a dangerous game. It's not healing, it's just a distraction. And that's just the hard truth of it. I'm not saying that you can't find someone that helps you heal, but I'm saying that if you think that you're gonna find someone out here and get with them and they are gonna heal you, stop. It's not true. They're not gonna heal you. You gotta heal yourself. So when you come out here and you're coming out here for a separation, be prepared that the rebound is almost imminent. It's gonna happen. It's crazy to think that you're not gonna come out here and some 22, 23 to 35, 36-year-old isn't gonna come up to you and be extremely beautiful and say all the right things and do all the right things, because it's gonna happen. I promise. I promise you it's gonna happen. There's this thing that I like to call the expat bubble. When you come out here, you're gonna meet people. You're gonna meet locals and they're gonna be friendly. You're gonna meet foreigners or expats and they're gonna be friendly. You're gonna build a friendship with them, but building a deep soul level support system, it's gonna take some time. They don't have any of the historical information about you. They don't know about your past or the type of person that you are. So take that in consideration too. It's gonna feel very lonely at moments. And that's when you got to dig deep inside and start to be therapeutic to yourself. It's important. I promise. I went through it myself. I got some great friends out here. They don't know my history. They don't know the history of my ex-wife, my family, my mother, my father, the friend groups and the peers that I had back home. All they know is what's in front of them. And that's all I know about them. So building that deep connection like you had back with your friends back home is very, very hard to do. There's something else you need to take in consideration too. You're going to be very irritable about things because you just had your heart broke and you're upset about the way that your life is going and the way things are turning. So you're going to be very irritable about things. And the infrastructure out here, especially if you don't live within like a private community such as Ayala, anything that Ayala owns, like IT Park or Business Park. I don't know about Manila. BGC would be what comes to mind as a private infrastructure, but if you live outside of a private infrastructure, you're going to have problems with the internet. You're going to have problems with electricity cutting on and off. They're going to have brownouts, which we call blackouts in the United States, where they cut the power off. You're going to have to worry about traffic jams. You're going to be worried 90 plus degree heat with 90% humidity. It's just going to feel like a total mental breakdown for you guys. And you got to try to dig deep and get patience. I promise you, there's moments I walk out of the grocery store and I'm heated and I'm mad, or there's times when I want to get somewhere and I'm in a taxi and I'm literally, I could have walked. It was a 20-minute walk, but I just didn't feel like walking, so I took a taxi and I'm stuck in this taxi for 2 hours. I know, get out, walk the rest, I know, but there's just going to be things that are going to pick at you, and you're already a little irritable because you just don't like where you're at in life right now. So take that into consideration also. One of the hardest things that you're going to have to figure out how to do is not hunt or look or try to find information about your ex on social media. That's huge. We all do it because obviously they're a big part of your life. So we're all going to do it. So let's talk about ego death. Detachment and seeing them with someone else causes what we call ego death. Your brain wants to compete. It wants to show them that you're doing better. If you move to the Philippines just to post look at me photos, you're still letting your ex control your life. That's just the reality of it. True healing happens when you stop caring if they're watching. And I've gotten to that point. It's about moving from a place of resentment to a place of total detachment. In a place of total detachment, it feels like freedom. And then that's when you really start enjoying the Philippines. And you really start enjoying company of other females in the Philippines. And it's not such a rebound. I promise. So make sure that you're not here to show everyone how much better you're doing and try to be spiteful to your ex, because it's going to backfire on you. So in conclusion, the Philippines is a world-class place. It's a world-class place to reset, but it's a poor place to run. If you're coming here to build a new life, a new business, or find a purpose, 10 out of 10. Now, building a business a little harder than it would be back in the US, but it's significantly cheaper. But if you go just to hide, the memory is going to follow you, and it's going to be stuck here with you. It's going to follow you. If you're trying to find peace, that has to be within yourself. So if you're coming here just to get away and running from a separation, please follow some of my steps. Or the first 2 or 3 months of your visit is going to be rough. And you're going to have to dig real deep to get back out of that hole to be healthy for yourself. Like I say every single time, I appreciate every single one of you. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the subscribes. Thanks for the shares. It means a lot to me. If you haven't done any of those, please help me out a little bit. But I appreciate y'all. God bless.